right, and welcome back to the second part of the Doepfer A114 ring mod demonstration. My name is Raul. This time around we're going to be demonstrating the ring mod module here, but we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be feeding a series of notes that I performed earlier, not in a sequence or anything, but kind of off camera in the real world over here. So what I did was I recorded the notes going into a MIDI sequencer, and then I'm going to be outputting them from my sequencer into the Doepfer A190-1. These notes are then going to be sent over to VCO right over here. So we should hear that here shortly a little bit. But first, let's get our ring mod signal going. And we're going to start where we started in the last segment. We're going to start with 2 sine waves. So I'm going to take sine wave from VCO 2 over here, patch it into the Y in, and then I'm going to take sine wave from VCO 1 and go into the X in right over here. There we go. And then I'm going to take, let's see, my XY out, and I'm going to go into my input over here, so we should hear signal here shortly. There we go. And it is slightly out of tune. Let me go back in tune right there. Okay, so that's our ring mod signal. It's very static, just regular oscillators going into ring mod. So not a lot of movement. Now this sequence I'm going to start here is actually just me playing random notes. Just playing constant random notes at about a tempo of 100. And I'm going to bring these in now, and we should start seeing the lights of the Doepfer A190 start to pulse as they're receiving notes. So then we're going to start hearing our signal, and from there we'll just go in and start trying the different permutations of our ring mod, such as different waveforms and such. So here we go. Okay, so there's our random notes coming in. And then you can see the light blinking every time a note comes in. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and start changing my oscillators. I can kind of change one out of tune if I want to. So that's what it sounds like with 1 in the -1 position, and then 1 in the center position. Let's go down to the -2 position. Okay. So now let's try actually going with the second oscillator back down into the lower octaves and hear what kind of sound we can get with both in the lower octave. And at about that point it becomes so low that it's very hard to hear. Okay, but now let me flip both of them up. So I have 1 in my lower position, and then 1 in the -2 position. Now both at the -1 position. Now we're both back in the center position. There we go. All right, now let's go up to the +1 position with our first VCO. with our second oscillator. Well, actually no, let's stay in the 0 position and take this one up to +2. Okay, so we have that one at the center position, this one over here at the +2 position. Okay, now let's take this up to the +1 position. There we go. And then I can go with this one up to the +2 position as well. And the reason I chose this type of demo was that you can really hear the flexibility of the ring mod more so, I think anyway, when you have moving notes at different pitches than you do at just a static sort of pace. Okay, plus it's a little more fun as well. Okay, so that's with 2 sine waves. And now let's change our X waveform. Let's come back to our center position. Okay, so now both are back in the 0 position. And now let's change our waveform number 1. Take out the sine wave and just go in with a triangle. Now you may still hear a little bit of signal, but that's actually just a little crosstalk going on between the ring mod and the mixer here. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go with triangle wave. Let's actually start them somewhat in tune. Both in the 0 setting. Let's take one down. Now let's go down to the -2. Okay, back up to the center. Now let's try 1 octave up. Okay, we're doing pretty good so far. Let's go to +2. Okay, and now let's get these 2 oscillators to meet. So we're going to go up 1 octave on this one. Okay, +2. Okay, now let's bring it back to the center. Now let's change our waveform. This time let's go to a square wave. Okay, and that is at the 0 position on both. For a little variety, I can change my pulse width if I want to. Now that we're at about a mid setting of pulse width, I can bring down my range. And the -2 position. There we go. Let's go both of them all the way down to the -2 position. both at the -2 position. Let's go back to 0. And now let's go up 1 octave. And then up another octave. Okay, so now let's bring this down to about the center position again. And now we're going to change our wave over here and take a square wave out and then go into saw wave. Go down 1 octave. All the way down in the -2 position. And remember, I can always take it out of tune. Very, very interesting textures that happen using these waveforms. So I'm going to bring it back up to the center position. And now let's go to the +1 position. And then +2. And now let's just try sort of going nuts with our sine wave over here. So there I think we're in the +2 position, +1 position. Back to the 0 position, -1 position. And then -2 position. Okay, so this just kind of demonstrates the mixing of sine wave and all these 4 different waveforms here. But of course there are tons of other combinations that we could have done, you know, triangle, triangle, and then triangle through all the other 4, square wave through all the other 4. My favorite have tended to be, I'm going to unpatch this for a second, have been the square waves. I don't know if that's because I have more manual control over the pulse width, or if it's just my particular preference. So I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to take a square wave from here and go into the XN this time. And then I'm going to take square wave from other VCO, make sure they're both in the 0 position. There we go. And I'm going to patch right into the YN. And these are probably some of the more clangorous sounds, but maybe that's part of what makes me attracted to these. I can adjust my pulse width. Change my tune. So that is our square wave right there, and the possibilities of what you can do with those. Okay, so I'm going to unpatch our friends the square waves, and I'm going to wrap up this part of the demo. And in the next one, we're going to be looking a little bit at how you can use modulation to sort of increase the possibilities of standard ring modulation. So stay tuned for that. Hope that this was useful, and we'll see you next time.